Good day. My topic is all about procedures for curriculum mapping, curriculum practices, curriculum design alternatives for the future. So my name is Marjorie B. IMPANG. So procedures for curriculum mapping, we have 7 phases. The phase 1, collecting the data. Phase 2, the first read-through. Phase 3, mixed group review session. Phase 4, large group review. Phase 5, determine those points that can be revised immediately. Phase 6, determine those points that will be require long-term research and development. Phase 7, the review cycle continues. In the phase 1, collecting the data, in this phase, each teacher describes 3 major elements that comprise the curriculum on the curriculum map. So first, the process and the processes and the skills is emphasized. The content in terms of essential concepts and topics, or the content as examined in essential questions. 3, product and performances that are assessments of learning. So highly specific information about the lesson plans isn't needed. So the purpose of this phase is for teacher to place realistic data about what he or she teaches in the course of academic year on the macro level. So I have found it great help to show teachers a number of sample maps to model the level and the type of work that is required. So in the first read through, it is a phase 2. Once the maps are completed, each teacher becomes an editor for the maps of the entire building. So first, the faculty members should become familiar with his or her colleagues' curriculum as well as the scope of all the maps. Then the teacher can carry out the editing task. The other tasks require discerning eye. The teacher should look for repetitions, gaps, meaningful assessments, matches with the standards, potential areas for integration, and the timeliness. So in the phase 3, mixed group review session. So in this small group review, the group should be composed of the people who do not work together. So teachers should not work with their usual instructional grade level team, interdisciplinary team, department, or teaching partner. So optimum size of the group is 6 to 8 staff members. So the opportunity to share with the familiar teacher teams and partners will come, but delaying that step only heightens the power of this process. So when familiar groups review the maps, they tend unconsciously or consciously to homogenize the material so that it looks uniform. So the result, it is an accurate portrayal of the school year. In the mixed group review, each teacher shares his or her findings from the individual review of the maps. So it is a reporting out procedure. So it is not a decision-making procedure, and delaying judgment is critical. Hence, teachers should simply state the areas in which they gained information, places where they located the gaps, repetitions, potential areas for integration, mismatches between the outcomes and curriculum, and the meaningful and non-meaningful assessments. So they are red flagging areas that need attention, not rewriting the curriculum. So in the phase 4, a large group review. So all members of the faculty attend the large group review. Before this meeting, the facilitators of each small group review sessions have reported on the findings of the small group session. So these findings are gathered in a chart of encompassing all the reporting sessions. So the leader of the large group review, whether it is a principal or a teacher leader, posts their findings, then asks the audience to comment on emerging patterns. So both general and specific comments will arise. So once overall findings are available to the large group, the faculty should examine the list carefully and take on the next 2 procedures. Critical decisions at this juncture is whether to break into the instructional units or stay as a larger group. So a key variable is the size of the faculty. So if you are in a small school where faculty size is 10 to 15, it is perfectly workable to stay in a large group. So if the faculty is larger, then returning to instructional units. So as such grade level teams, house teams, or departments makes greater sense. So the important point here is that the faculty is now moving from review mode to editing, revising, and developing mode. So in the phase 5, determine those points that can be revised immediately. So with list of observation in hand, the faculty starts to sift through the data and determine areas that can be handled by the faculty members, teams, and administrators. Frequently, there are glaring repetitions that can be addressed by the exchange of ideas between the faculty members. So in the phase 6, so determine those points that will require long-term research and development. So while reviewing the maps, groups will find areas that require more in-depth investigation before a solution can be produced. So it is obvious because the problem encompasses a range of grade levels or departments. The implication likely will include the instructional decisions or the results of altering the curriculum will have long-term consequences. So for example, there might be a gap in the series of assessments between the elementary and middle school writing program. So in this case, teachers in both buildings need to examine the development sequence of writing over the course of time. So the maps reveal that creative writing projects about the both level, but not only nonfiction writing listed above level is reports. So when will formal essay writing be introduced? When should note cards be introduced? Should 8th graders will position papers rather than simply reports as they did in 4th grade? So the maps will give elementary and middle school teachers an opportunity to settle these issues without blaming each other for the gaps. Okay. And the phase 7, the review cycle continues. So the curriculum review should be active and ongoing. So our old style methods of reviewing curriculum is well intended but odd. But now we have means for ongoing systematic, immediate, and long-range planning. So let's go to the curriculum practices. So curriculum practices, we have 4. Curriculum as a body of knowledge to be transmitted. Curriculum as attempt to achieve certain ends in the student's product. And third one, curriculum as a process. And curriculum as praxis. Okay, let's go with the curriculum as a syllabus to be transmitted. So many people still equate a curriculum with syllabus. Basically, it means a concise statement or a table of heads of a discourse. So the contents of treatise, the subject of a series of lectures. What we can see in such document is a series of headings with some additional notes which set the areas that may be examined. Okay, a syllabus will not generally indicate a relative importance of its topic or the order in which they are to be studied. In some cases, as Corzo 1985 points out, those compile a syllabus tend to follow the traditional textbook approach of an order of contents or a pattern of prescribed biological approach to the subject, or consciously or unconsciously at the shape of university course in which they may have participated. So, thus, approach curriculum theory and practice which focus on the syllabus is only really concerned with the content. So, curriculum is a body of knowledge, content, or subject. Education, in this sense, is the process by which these are transmitted or delivered to the students by the most effective methods that can be devised. So, curriculum as a product. So, education is most often seen as a technical exercise. Objectives are set, a plan drawn up, then applied, and outcomes measured. So, in this way of thinking about education that has grown in the influence of United Kingdom since the late of 1970s, with this rise of vocationalism and the concern with the